Welcome to Spiritual Minefield. Today we're continuing the series of Revelation chapter 6, and today we're going to read verses 3 and 4. Stay tuned. All right, so let's check out verse 3 and 4 of Revelation 6, and this is the second seal, which is war. And it says, "And when the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, 'Come.' Then another horse went forth. It was bright red, and its rider was granted permission to take away peace from the earth, and to make man slay one another. And he was given a great sword." So the second seal is war. Basically, there's going to be a great war, but this is a very big war, and most likely has to do with the Antichrist. And the Antichrist is conquering the world. So it is fighting the countries that might be against it to conquer them so that he could be ruler and put his mark out there so that people not only receive the mark of the Antichrist, but also worship him and his idol. So this most likely is a war with the Antichrist against those countries that maybe do not want to submit. All right, so now let's look at here a key phrase, bright red. So let's see what does bright red mean. So we'll go to the Greek, and the Strong's Greek says poros, and it means fiery red, red or fire colored. And then if we go a little bit down, it says here in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, it says fire like, that is especially flame colored red. So we see here that the color represents fire. Okay, now what's interesting is when you go to Revelation chapter 12, the same color or the same Greek word is used, but guess who is used for? In verse 3, it says, "Then another sign appeared in heaven, a huge red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 royal crowns on his heads." As you could see here, the word red, when you look at the Greek word, is the same Greek word as we find for the horse, for the red horse, is the same Greek word. Now, why is Satan and this horse have the same color? That's very interesting. So let's go to John 8, and we're going to start in verse 43, and then look what it says. And this is Jesus speaking. "Why do you not understand what I'm saying? It is because you're unable to accept my message. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out his desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, refusing to uphold the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language because he is a liar and the father of lies." So we see here that Satan is a murderer. He likes to destroy. He desires to destroy people's lives, to kill them physically, mentally, spiritually. He's there to destroy. So then, why red? Why is it that the second horse is red? Satan is also red. Why the same Greek word for both? You know why? Because what happens when you put fire on something? When something is burning, what does fire do? It destroys. That's what Satan does. He destroys people. He takes them from the truth and brings them to the lie. Why? To send them to hell. And he also kills people. He wants everyone to kill themselves. He hates human beings. Why? Because we're created in the image of God. So now if we go here, now this is interesting because look at John 8 again. Look what it says here. It says he was a murderer from the beginning. What beginning? Well, Genesis chapter 4. Look what it says. This is about Cain and Abel. Look what it says here about what Satan did in the beginning. We're going to read verse 6. It says, this is God speaking to Cain. "Why are you angry, said the Lord to Cain, and why has your countenance fallen? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you refuse to do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires you, but you must master it. Now, this is interesting because sin, the word here, sin, is not animated. It's not something that's alive. It's not a person or an animal. But then look at the definitions that is used for sin. Is used crouching, which is an animalistic movement, which you see that in the lions. When lions are hunting its prey, what does it do? It goes to the tall grass and then it goes down, crouches, and it starts getting closer to its prey so it could kill the prey and eat it. And then it says desires. So then sin crouches, meaning it moves like an animal, and it has desires. Well, this is speaking about the devil, because Satan is completely sin. And here is showing you what Satan does. He crouches. He's crouching, meaning he's in a very low state so that you cannot see him. What does a lion do? It goes down and it hides and it crouches to get closer to its prey so the prey cannot see it. But when the prey does see it, it's too late. And that's what Satan does here. And Satan is getting close to Cain, and he's doing it in such a way it's not setting up any alarm. So the devil's getting close to Cain, and Cain cannot perceive what is happening to him. So Satan is in a way tempting Cain to do something really bad to his brother. But he's doing it in such a way that Cain doesn't know that it is coming from Satan himself. What does it desire? It desires Cain. In what sense? Satan wants to destroy Cain's relationship with God. And on top of that, he's going to have Cain kill his own brother because his brother's righteous. So Satan wants to destroy the brothers' lives, Cain and Abel. And that's what eventually or sadly happens. Cain kills his brother, God banishes Cain, and now you got a righteous man, Abel, dead. And then you got Cain, who was good at the moment, now was rejected. God rejected him because of what he did to his brother. So we see here from the very beginning what Jesus said. It says he was a murderer from the beginning, and that's what Satan did. Satan killed Abel through Cain. Okay, now in John chapter 10, look at this. It says Jesus, starting in verse 6, Jesus spoke to them using this illustration, but they did not understand what he was telling them. So he said to them again, truly, truly, I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. So we see here that the sheep belongs to God. Thieves and robbers are those claiming to be from God, but they were false prophets, false teachers. Those who belong to God, God was protecting them from being deceived. So they rejected these false teachers and prophets. Okay. Verse 9, I am the gate. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. Now look at verse 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it in all its fullness. So what does Satan comes to do through false teachers and prophets? He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So what is the color of the devil? Red. He's a red dragon. Why? Because he represents fire, which consumes and destroys. And that's what Satan does. And then when you go to Revelation chapter 6, you see here that the horse, the red horse, most likely the devil is behind that. And it is bringing destruction to humans. Through war, he is killing many, many soldiers. And most likely all these soldiers are not saved. So where are they going? They're going straight to hell. And that's one of the plagues that God unleashes. He allows Satan to come and to bring destruction to men. They start fighting each other. They start destroying each other's lives. And most likely, the reason why I said this is the devil is because, not that the red horse is Satan. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Satan is behind this because in verse 2, it starts with the Antichrist. It says, so I looked and saw a white horse, and its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out to overcome and conquer. So the Antichrist is conquering nations. And who's behind the Antichrist? Satan himself. And what is he doing? Many, many people are being destroyed. And that's why this horse is bright red, because it represents fire, and fire destroys, consumes and destroys whatever it burns. And Satan is called the red dragon because that is his nature. His nature is to destroy. This concludes Revelation chapter 6, verses 3 and 4. Thank you for listening.